Hello and welcome to the Tower of London on Tuesday the 22nd of June and inside the Chapel Royal of St Peter ad Vincula for our online thought for the day. It's a very grey and overcast day here, and in fact as I walked across from the house into the chapel it was drizzling again. Well, I want to talk to you a little bit today about saints because three things have happened within the last week which has reminded me about saints. Now, the first, of course, happens to be today, the 22nd of June, which is the day on which we remember in the Christian calendar St Alban. Alban was a Roman soldier born around the year 209, and he was living in the Roman city of Verulam, which is today, of course, St Albans. He met a Christian priest, and at that time priests were being persecuted. Taking pity on him, he took him to his house. As time went by, and greatly influenced by the way the priest lived his life, his prayers, his holiness, and his teaching, Alban himself gave his life to God and became a Christian. At about the same time, the soldiers heard that he was harbouring a priest. And so, swapping place with the priest, on the day that he was arrested, he was taken away. He was tortured and asked to renounce his faith. Refusing to do so, he was beheaded on the 22nd of June around the year 250. His body was subsequently taken, buried, and eventually a great cathedral building was built on top of his burial site, which is today the site of St Albans Cathedral. Now, a second point on this whole business about saints is that it didn't come as any surprise to me last week when I had a phone call from the Roman Catholic Cathedral near Victoria. Many of you will know that wonderful building. And one of the senior clergyman said, "I hear that the Tower of London is open, and I've heard that the chapel is open. And I wonder if you could be kind enough to show one of our visitors, a very senior clergy person here in the United Kingdom, the shrine of St Thomas More, which he's never seen." This happens quite regularly in my life, and Debbie, who's a chapel administrator, will tell you that we're often trying to organise these particular visits. Well, I said to this person, yes, of course, I'd be delighted to do that, but you have to understand that we're living with COVID, and so the chapel has been reorganised a great deal to allow us to continue with our worship on Sunday and the visitors to come in during the week, which means we've had to move all our excess furniture into the crypt, and that includes the choir stalls. I know this person really well. I said, "That's fine, Roger, don't worry about it at all. The person will just be really pleased to be able to go and say his prayers by the shrine." So on the day, I collected him, brought him into the chapel here, went down into the crypt, and as before, I told him a little bit about the story of St Thomas More. He said, "Thank you," and then I moved to one side to allow this person to kneel and say their prayers before the shrine of St Thomas More. So we've had St Alban, and then we've had this visitor to the shrine of St Thomas More. Within the same week, I was also asked to write a few words about what I thought saints were about. And so I want to read to you what I wrote, and then to leave you with a thought at the end of my reading. Some people pray to saints. Others ask saints to pray for them. Many churches and countries, peoples and professions have a patron saint. This chapel, as you know, is dedicated to St Peter ad Vincula, as the chapel in the White Tower is dedicated to St John the Evangelist. All those given the title saint have in some way or other been shown to have lived a godly life, often one which has been benevolent to others and linked to some significant change or a miracle. Many saints have remarkable stories told of them. And while some accounts are hard for the 21st century intellects to believe, there is often much to learn from the lives of those who we in fact call saints. So my question for you this morning is, what do you know about the patron saint of your church? And who are the saints that you count as significant in your life? Recently, I was encouraging people to go to Westminster Abbey, and look at the row of saints above the west door. Amongst them is Saint Maximilian Kolbe. What do we know about him? Why is his statue there? What is his sainthood about? And then that leaves us, all of us today, with this question. What is it about the faithfulness and obedience to God that inspires us and challenges us as we think about saints and their place in the church?